The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. So welcome to the January 11th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. The easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't dial in, but you've got a question, you can send that to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our tiger's den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, a bit of a mixed bag. That mix really only coming from the semis, which are off 0.25%. That's about 7 points to the downside. The Dow's up 36, S&P 14, NASDAQ 61, Russell's up 9, about 0.5%. It's the max. 1% for the trend. It's 149 points, straight out to 14,204. We got gold off $3, silver down 25 cents, light sweet crude is up $1.58, natural gas off 14 cents, the 30-year Treasury trading out at 128.27. That is up 20 ticks. Trading to the upside, dollar-wise, leading the charge is Equinix, up $24 and change, 3.5%. Biorad Laboratories, 5% or $22. Solar Edge Technologies, $14, about 5%. 5% for Charles River Labs, that's about $13. MSCI Inc., about $12 or 2.5%. To the downside, you've got Teleflex off $15, nearly 6%. Intuitive Surgical, $13, about 5%. Vault Systems down 16%. That's 10 buckaroonies. Vision Energy Corp off $9 or 45%. Now that's a stinger. And John Deere down about $7. That's 1.5% to the downside. Of course, I want to take a look at what you want to look at, and we have no request either inside the Tiger's Den or via email. So let's just begin by surfing around, take a look at the equity future contracts. We begin by taking a look at all four. And in the upper left-hand corner, what you've got is the ES Mini. And right now, what you can see that it's dealing with is sellers. Those sellers, they remain at the top of the daily profile. That's at 39.54. We're trading at 39.54. If price can close above 39.54, not 39.55, but if it can close above, let's just say this, if price can close above this bearish shooting star candle, didn't confirm anything other than resistance, but if price can close above 39.73, that's going to suggest a run towards that swing point from December 13th, anywhere from 40.17 all the way up to 41.80. If we take a look at the NQ out here, you can see right now it is trading above the top of its daily profile. It closed above it. It's a bearish structured profile up at 11,280. We're trading above it today, and what price is stalled right now is at that point 382 retracement. So if, in fact, the NQ can close above 11,357 out there, that would suggest a further move higher, with 11,732 being the next logical price target. In the case of the Dow Equity Future Contract, the Dow Equity Future Contract closed above the top of its daily profile last Friday. Remained above it. Did it remain above it on, I take it on Friday. Did it last Thursday. No, it did it last Friday. And then the close on Monday, 33,670. Yeah, it came just back below. But yesterday was a back closed above it. If you close above 33,702 today, that suggests higher price. That higher price level being 34,256, the 0.618 retracement of the most recent swing high down to the most recent swing low. And as we look at the Russell 2000, she's made her way up to the top of that profile. The exact profile number is the 1853 level. It's gotten up to 1849. So summarize it, Steve-O. Take us on home. Well, you've got a consolidation going on right now, really with inside the ES Mini and the Russell 2000. You're in kind of breakaway mode inside the Dow and the NQ out there. But let's not stop there. We've got more. And that means let's go take a look at a multi-panel intraday set of charts out there for the NQ and see what kind of information we can glean from it. And as we take a look, we start up in the daily side out there. You got a nice TD9 count bottom. Again, if price closes above that high, we have another price target for the ES, or for the NQ, that is. The first price target being at 11,732. That's under the assumption that you get a close above 11,358. And so if you do that, then the price should go target its TD9 count breakdown area. And that's up at 11,898. I'm not saying it does that in one day in consecutive sessions. I'm just sharing with you that that is its logical price target. And if price is able to take out, here's a high out here. This high took place yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock on a 5-hour time frame. And that was 11,385.50. If we get a close above that, it looks like an A to B equals CD to the upside would get generated. Sorry about this, folks. I still having a database issue with my white background charts. Oh, good. I'm glad that I did update that. But hopefully we get that resolved this afternoon. In any event, what I was going to share with you, if pricing close above bar number 7 of this TD9 count, that high out there is that's 11,385.50. Note that on your pad of paper. If we get that, then what you have is an A to B equals CD to the upside. That would be complete out here. So that formed a nice 5-hour basis, a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. I'm just going to move that A to B line to the bottom of the C point. That would give you a price projection in the 1117 area. But that retracement there, that looks like a 0.382 retracement. So more likely than not, it would be the 12056 level that price would eventually target out there. But that only occurs, or likely occurs, with a close above 11,385.50. Let's continue looking at these NQ charts out here on a 4-hour time frame. We don't have any. Well, I take that back. You are in bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Now, this current candle session is going to close at 2 p.m. Is that right? 10? Yeah, 10. Oh, I'm on the 4-hour time frame chart. I thought I was on the 2-hour. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. So on a 4-hour basis, so at 2 p.m., you'll get bar number 8. So really what that's suggesting is if there's going to be a short-term top inside the NQ, that's not going to take place until this evening when the equity future markets open back up. On a 2-hour time frame, there we go. So on the 2-hour time frame, this bar here closes at 12 noon. So I don't really have a pattern out here. I mean, I've got resistance, and resistance for the NQ on 120-minute time frame would be 11,385.50. So there's that number again. So close above that would suggest a further move higher out there. Just confirm that A to B equals CD to the upside. On the 60-minute time frame, you do have a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Nice little bearish engulfing candle that formed right as we were coming into the 11 o'clock time frame. But what you can see out here is price above its profile, bear structured profile, above its green oscillator and change line. This signal is muted, meaning it is just simply a neutral signal at the moment. So right now, just looking at these charts out here, yeah, it looks like the NQ wants to continue to motor on higher. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Cakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Cakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. We've got natural gas, the February contract trading out of 352, the March contract at 320 out here. We've got the first and only question so far. This one's coming from Les. Les J writes in, he says, hey, Steve, if you can you predict a bottom on UNG? Thanks. So we're not going to look at the UNG charts, Les, even though you asked for that, because the only way for me to predict a bottom on that is to look at the underlying instrument. And right now, we know as of yesterday, it's the February contract that is still inside the UNG, but that's going to be rolling over into the March contract. What I want to share with you, if you take a look at Les here, you can see the daily A to B equals CD to the downside pattern. And we can see that price is below a bullish structured profile out there. So the price target is 268. I am not saying that that is where natural gas will bottom. It could bottom today. But in order to do that, it needs to generate a bullish reversal candle. And really, quite frankly, it would need to close above 398 to give you some kind of hint of a bottom, or at least to bounce up to 477. That's, again, take a look at the February contract out here. We can see that price is below the bottom of its profile on a weekly basis, on the monthly basis, not looking really good. However, there's a possibility, and we're going to change screens right now. Les, we're going to go to the multi-panel white background screens, and we'll take a look at that daily time frame chart. In fact, what we'll do is we'll expand it out. So I'm not showing the A to B equals CD pattern here, but what I am showing is that today is going to form, or should form, bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Now, bar number 9 must complete. And in order for that to happen, bar number 9, now I'm looking at the March contract, there must be a close tomorrow below $3.39. If price closes below that, and of course, excuse me, if price today closes below $3.42, then you will have a TD9 count bottom that will form tomorrow and will complete on Friday. When I say complete, what that means is that you can get a lower low on the bar following bar number 9 out there. So one possibility out here, Les, is that you could see some type of bottom form between today and Friday. The lows can form on bar number 8 out there. That's why I'm giving you that time frame. But because of the A to B equals CD pattern, and because price is trading below its profile levels, what I'd be waiting for is that bullish reversal candle. So I'd be sit tight. Don't pay attention to UNG for its signals. You want to really be paying attention to the underlying instrument. Again, that is the February contract at the moment. I don't know. But if you look it up, if you look up UNG, Les, it should tell you when it's going to roll over into the March contract for natural gas. So I hope that helps you out. Just be patient. I think there's a lot of us trying to that are watching and observing and trying to be patient about that. Of course, that always makes me a bit concerned. We're all looking for the same thing out there. But right now, we're searching for a bottom. You're searching for a bottom. And that's not going to take place at least until we see a bullish reversal candle and complete that buy the D point. So thanks so much for the request, and have a happy new year. We can still say that it's only the 11th of January, and we'll look forward to your next request. The next request coming in from Doug M. So let's get over to one of our 3-panel sets of charts out here. If you give me a moment, we'll switch over, and it's going to be ATKR. So let me get this piped in here, ATKR, because I've got to update all these charts. Just simply a system issue that we've got going on out here, which is a real bummer, but it is what it is. And so I was on the line with support most of the morning, and we were running this one tool that was going to time out just basically as the show was starting. And so I didn't want to chance it. So when the show's over, then I've got to go back and redo everything that we did to try to get this solved. So AKTR, we've got those charts up on our screen. If you give me a moment, I'd just like to see exactly what this instrument is, ATKR out here. And then let's read the question. ATKR is at Core Inc. Okay, well, that helps me out. The question goes like this. Mr. Steve, would you look at ATKR? Saw bearish engulfing followed by a bullish engulfing. TD9 count seems good on the 30-minute daily and weekly. Thanks, Doug. Well, let's take a look at this. So on a daily time frame, what I've got out here is I show that price is above the top of its profile. Today is bar number 6 out here. So I don't have any, this suggests that price should move higher. You're above a green oscillator and change line. You are above yesterday's high. You're above the oscillator and change line, the top of the profile. So price should be gutting. Now, there's a gap out here, and it's closing that window. It's repairing that window, and it repairs it today with a close above. Well, it's already traded into it. So, in essence, that's been repaired. Odds favor that, Doug, what price is going to do is make a run for that December 13th candle. That's the swing point, and that's anywhere between 124.70 and 128.36. The TD9 count is on the weekly time frame. And what that did here, Doug, is it brought price back towards the bottom of its profile. No key levels of support have been broken. Price is above the green oscillator and change line. It is consolidating with inside the profile level. 109.65 as support. 128.36 is your resistance level. The monthly time frame, no topping pattern. Price above the top of its profile. It's green oscillator and change line. So ATKR looks to me like it wants to continue to move higher. Your question was, seems good on the 30. You were asking about a bullish and a bearish engulfing candle. So you got the bearish engulfing candle, but not the bullish engulfing candle. Now, I'm going to have to read the tea leaves here, but let me just do this. And so, Doug, thanks for pointing this out. Let me try to share with you a lesson here. And that is this. So you've got the bearish engulfing candle correct, because at least price was in an uptrend. And so you need to be, and I'm looking at the daily time frame, folks, you need to be in an uptrend in order for a bearish engulfing candle to form. And it engulfed the prior day. So that was, now that was not a top or anything. CB does not use that signal, just a random bullish or bearish reversal candle in the middle of a move. What do you mean the middle of a move, Stevie? I mean, I use those candles to confirm tops and bottoms, but they go along with the pattern. Just because you form a bearish engulfing candle, and in this case here, yesterday was bar number 4. There's no A to B equals CD to the upside. It was just a bearish engulfing candle. But what that was 2 days ago. Yesterday was not a bullish engulfing candle. And the reason it was not is because a bullish engulfing candle needs to take place in a downtrend. As an example, here's a bullish engulfing candle for AKTR. That took place on November 9th. There was a TD9 count top that was out there that completed on November 2nd. That pulled price back. So it was in a downtrend. There's your bullish engulfing candle. So I hope that helps you out there at least. And what you can say, though, is you have that bearish engulfing candle, and a close above its high at 121.76 or 122.16 would be a bullish message. But the stock charts themselves, they do look bullish. You mentioned a 30-minute chart, and you said that looks okay. So as we open up the 30-minute time frame chart out there, it looks better than okay. Why? Because it negated a TD9 count top, and it did it almost immediately on a 30-minute basis. So strong upward momentum move here. So, Doug, thanks so much for writing in. I do hope that helps you out with regard to that review. And if you're in this position, I would stay in it to win it. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We've got a request here from Hector, and he wants to take a look at ticker symbol CWST. So we'll do that when we get back from this break.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got a request out here from Hector and Patty. They want to take a look at Casella Waste Systems. And the summation of the question is, how far can this bullish leg go before it hits headwinds out there? So let's take a look at the charts. We've got the, let me make sure I'm in the right spot out here. I am, the white background chart. So One of the things that Hector is looking at, and Patty, is that yesterday price closed above the top of a bearish structured daily profile. And you're above that today, and it closed above 80.53 today. We'll give you that second consecutive close and suggest a further move higher. Now, because we're above profile in a daily time frame, and we don't have a next resistance point, and I don't see anything else out here as resistance, I guess the next level of resistance would be at about 85.93. That's a possibility. But what we're really going to do is we're going to go from the daily set of profiles to the weekly. And on a weekly basis out here, what we can see with regard to CWST, his price right now is struggling at resistance. And that is its weekly oscillator unchanged line. That's at the 81.50 level. To be exact, it's 81.49. Now, you've also got another battle, which is at the center of its slightly bearish structured weekly profile. So you've got oscillator and change line resistance. Again, that is at the 81.49. You have resistance, profile resistance between 82.72 and 85.37. So you're already hitting headwinds out here. Price would need to close above 85.37 to suggest run to the 89.41 area. On a monthly time frame, what we have out here is really a consolidation with inside its profiles. 65.20, that level was tested. You can see it formed that nice bullish hammer candle. And the top of that profile, bearish in structure, 89.84, has held as resistance. So you are hitting headwinds. No matter how you look at it, this is definitely hitting headwinds. That doesn't mean it's not going to move higher, but your specific question is, how high can it go before it hits the headwinds? The headwinds are here. Maybe it's because the FAA is a little bit screwed up. They didn't actually get that signal sent out to you, but it's here. The headwinds are here. Now let's take a look at a short-term chart, the 30-minute time frame, kind of get a feel. So what I see out here is I see a sell the D point. I also see a wave number 7. So you got two different, what looks like two different topping patterns. Well, there's definitely a sell the D point pattern. It just simply depends on what I want to use for my B point. But if we just simply take the larger one, it would look like this. And then I'm just simply going to move that over at A to B over to the C to D. There you go. And you can see you got that little bearish separating line out here. This was at 10:30. That on a 30-minute chart that confirmed that Rhodes meant to indicate, I'm sorry, the sell the D point pattern out there. And so now price is below the bottom of its 30-minute profile. So what could be unfolding here, Hector and Patty, is price might be gunning for 79.67. That's the next area of support that I have for a 30-minute time frame for what was this? This was Casella Waste Systems. So weekly, you're in the headwinds right now. Monthly, you're in the headwinds out here. And day and 30-minute chart, you've got a topping pattern that suggests that price should continue to pull back. So I hope that helps you out, Hector and Patty. Thanks again for taking so much time to write back to me. Much appreciated. And you have a wacky, wally, wild Wednesday out there, pre-wacky, wally, wild Wednesday. So thanks so much for the request. We've got another request inside our Tiger's Den. This one coming in from Coda. And Coda would like to take a look at ALGM. And Coda is long ALGM, and he would like to add to that position. ALGM is Allegro Microsystems, and really the time to add would have been last week. Why is that? Because if we take a look at what took place out here on a weekly basis, Coda, you got that nice TD9 count top. That takes place the week of December 16th. What then happens is price pulls back. See how that oscillator and change line had changed color, went from red to green? When that changes color, and when you then get in this case here, a topping pattern, that's the suggestion that we should see price go target that oscillator and change line. Turns out the last week's low was 28.54. And that oscillator and change line at the moment right there, that was at 28.82. Boy, you got to love how those things came together. Now, testing. So the deal is, at least Stevie's deal, at least the oscillator and change line deal, is that when it changes color and it completes a top or bottom pattern, in this case here, a topping pattern, and then price went from red to green, and price pulls back and tests a green oscillator and change line and bounces off of that, that is a bullish signal. And, Coda, you can use that for any time frame as well. So that clearly was your time to add to this position. Now, price is above the top of its daily profile. This is going to be day number 3. That suggests to run higher. You're got that bullish test yesterday on the weekly. That suggests at least a run to test resistance. That resistance at 34.14, that's the top of the TD9 count. That also is the top of its profile. On a monthly time frame, I just have price with inside its bullish structured monthly profile because price is well above the center. Price should run for 35.37. So how do we summarize the daily, the weekly, and the monthly? Over time, price wants to move to 35.37. But in order to do that, and that signal would come with a close above 34.14. And price should be able to make its way up to that level because we don't have any kind of a topping pattern, and everything else looks pretty bullish. Now, if we switch over to a 30-minute time frame chart, what we're going to find is what? We're going to find that there's a TD9 count top. That TD9 count top is going to be negated with a close above 32.06. We're printing right now at 32.05. So again, a close above 32.06 coda, and it negates that pattern, but I can see a wave 7 pattern. Now, as you know, wave 7 will not be, if we get a spike above by 12 noon, a spike above 32.11, wave 7 extends itself. So you do have a potential of a topping pattern out here. Of course, for that Rhodes momentum indicator signal, I would prefer to get a bearish reversal candle to confirm at least a short-term top. And then price needs to bust through support levels to suggest that this has any traction out there. So as we speak, I don't see an area for you to add to the position. If we do get a Rhodes momentum indicator top and price really pulls back, then an ideal area would be 30.95. It's TD9 count breakout level. But it'd have to bust through the current profile low, which is at 31.31. So I hope that helps you out, Coda. And thanks so much for the request out there. You're welcome. The next request, I don't know if I got to that. I didn't. But we're going to do it now. FTNT, Fortinet, I believe is how you pronounce it. And this request is coming in from Duncan, Steve. I haven't been to a Dunkin' Donuts in like forever. But as a kid growing up, when I was, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14, but at least 10, 11, 12, 13 when I delivered both the Detroit News and the Detroit Free Press. You can imagine that Stevie had Dunkin' Donuts, unfortunately, fairly often. Hey, I was a young kid getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning, taking those newspapers out before I went to school out there. Listen, it was a great thing. Okay, so back to Fortinet out here. I don't know why I was reminiscing of the days old, but Stevie was. So we've got a request out here to take a look at Fortinet. Oh, that's because it was Duncan Steve. And the question is, can you look at it, but not other than just thank you. So let's look at it. What you've got going on right now is you've got price trading between support and resistance of its profile levels. 47.51, this is the daily, and 50.80 is resistance on the daily time frame. You're really trading just below the bottom of its weekly profile out there. It closed below that. Last week that was at 49.87. I'd say if you close below that, well, you could would be signaling to move lower. Out here, the monthly chart, which has a Rhodes momentum indicator top, is testing support, and that's profile support, and that's at the price level of 48.32. And if price closes below 48.32 on a monthly basis, and really what I would say, it really has to close below the bottom of the Morningstar pattern. So if there's a close on a monthly basis below 45.74, then Fortinet will be communicating to us that its intention is to get back to 24.07. Duncan Steve, during this break, if there's something specific that you need about this other than what I just shared with you, please let me know, and I'll provide you with that information. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back. Dow's trading up 91 points. S&P's up 21. NASDAQ 88. Russell's up 12. The semi's trying to work up. It's moved to the downside. It's only down 4 points right now. Trading out of 27.17. We're going to go take a look at ticker symbol BTAL. BTAL is AGF Investments Trust, U.S. market neutral, anti-beta. Let's go take a look. I believe the question is, when is there a time to add? And CODA had the $20 level that was in play out here. So right now what this is doing, it's testing a swing point CODA from December 13th. That swing point had volume of 1 million shares. So far today, it's done 166,000. So it's pulling back in that swing point with lighter volume. But it needs to reject that swing point, which means it needs to close at day's end above 2073. You're at 2072 right now. If you get that, then you could have a test rejection of a swing point. That would be the only bottom signal on a daily time frame. What happens if price closes into that swing point, meaning below 2073, and does with light volume? Well, if you're inside the swing point with light volume, it can go down and test that low. If you close in it with volume, meaning more than 1 million shares out there, that would then suggest it's more likely to go test that low. But no bottom pattern. You're asking when can you add or when should you add. So that's one possibility. If I look at the weekly time frame chart, price is just inside its profile level out there, maybe signaling really move back to 2051. That could be an area of support. This is a bearish structured profile out there, so you're inside that sell zone, which is 2051 to 2127, and you've got resistance at 2159. That's the top of the monthly profile. Nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Of course, there was also a nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. And folks, if you're not familiar with that pattern, you really should be, and I'm happy to teach it to you, give you the exact sauce, the exact ingredients, the exact everything on how to trade that. Just go subscribe to Mastering Probability. Do it for less than 30 days. It costs you Zippo out there. So where to add on this? So far, we haven't been able to identify anything. But if we do take a look at the 30-minute chart to see if there's any other information out there, there isn't. It could go on to form a TD9 count. It needs to spike below the low of bar number 6, meaning it needs to get below 2068. And it would need to do that. Well, it still has to get bar number 8 and 9. So it's an hour. It's too early to even suggest that pattern out there. But that's what I would be looking at, CODA, as one possibility. So I just don't see the buy entry area in here to add to your position. But if you do get a test rejection of that top of that swing point, again, 2073, then that might be it would surely love to see those some type of intraday bottom pattern as well. So that's the best I can do for you for BTAL. I just don't see it just yet. So thanks so much for the request. Let's go to our next request. This one coming in from Nicholas. And Nicholas wants to take a look at got it. Okay. Nicholas wants to take a look at IBM. Says, good morning, Steve. What would you please go over IBM for support and resistance on daily and weekly? Thank you. Have a great hump day. You too, Nicholas. So the daily and the weekly, and you're specifically asking for support and resistance. I just lost your, oh my goodness. Stevie. Go to game plan B. Oh, man. Well, okay, Nicholas, I accidentally somehow deleted that message. How did I do that? Okay, fat fingers. Here's I think you're looking for support and resistance on the daily and the weekly time frame. Well, price is trading above resistance, which now may become support. That's the top of its daily profile. So the first number, 143.60. That's no longer resistance. Price above it. That could be support. Another area of support, because price above a bearish structured profile, would be the center, and that's at 142 even Steven out there. Another area of support is this green oscillator and change line. That's at 143.89. These are all from the daily time frame. Price is above that. Price should continue to move higher. Its target is going to be its swing point from December 13th, anywhere between 149.95 and 153.21. On a weekly basis, support 141.75 and 142.36, the latter being the oscillator and change line. Resistance, well, you've got a couple different areas. This is a bullish structured profile. Both buyers and sellers are sitting at the center, which basically where price is at 144.65. We're at 144.33. A close above 144.65 would signal a move to the 150.46 level. That's your next resistance area on a weekly basis. That is the top of its profile. So I think I have provided you with the information you're looking for. Real quickly, though, on a 30-minute time frame, what do we have out here? This formed a TD9 count top, took it right back to support. The TD9 count breakout level went on to test those highs, forms wave number 7, forms a Rhodes momentum indicator top, and then I need to update this. That can't be correct. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we got it correct. And price pulls back into its bullish structured profile there, very near that 143.40 area. And if price can get above the screen oscillator and change line, this is IBM. This is short term, 144.33. Your 144.35. If price remains above that, it should go take another run for those highs. That is IBM. So thanks much for writing in. I hope I gave you the information you're looking for. I deleted the email, and I don't know how I did that, but Stevie did. But I think that we got that info for you. So thanks for taking the time to write in, Nicholas, and have a great day. Now, Nicholas, you didn't ask about the semis. They're the ones that are trading lower out there. So I'm going to give you a twofer, since Stevie may have not provided you with what you were asking for. And if I did, well, then you get the twofer anyways. But let's go take a look at those semis out here and see what they're doing. And we're going to do that via the SMH. So let me just get all this stuff populated out here. Let me get on the short 30-minute time frame chart. And in the case of the semis, they form a beautiful TD9 count bottom out there. Did anybody wonder a couple of days ago, why did price stop at the 220.58 level? I know somebody was asking that question. Well, it turns out that was your TD9 count breakdown resistance level. So price made it up to resistance. Now, if price can close above that, 220.58, that's going to be a suggestion of a change in trend and a move up to its recent high, wave number 7. That's letter G, and that's from the swing point on a daily basis of December 13th between 224.84 and 234.59. On a weekly time frame, a nice TD9 count bottom pattern out here. Price finding resistance where? At its TD9 count breakdown level, and that's at the 235.80 level. Price pulls back, tests support, which was the oscillator and change line. This is inside a bullish structured profile. It's a weekly time frame. It closed this week above 212.91, suggests a move to 234.59, 235.80. And on the monthly time frame chart, you've got a nice TD9 count bottom on the monthly time frame. Well, if anything is suggesting to you and I that we may have a significant bottom that formed in these markets back here in the case of the SMHs back in October, like many of the instruments on a weekly basis, we've got nice bottoming patterns, typically Rhodes momentum indicator bottom patterns out there. In any event, the SMHs should now go on and target the oscillator and change line, which is up towards the 241-ish area out there. Now, on the 30-minute time frame out here, if we take a look at the semis via the SMH, what we've got is what? We got nothing, nada, zip, Zilch. We have price traded between TD 9 count support at 215.84 and TD 9 count resistance at 220.13. No real clear message out here other than just a bit of consolidation inside of the semis. So, Nicholas, I hope that helped you out, because I know in the back of your mind you were thinking of SMHs and you said, nah, I got to give Stevie something else to take a look at. And you did that. You threw me off and I deleted your message accidentally. So, but I hope that helps everybody out with regard to the SMHs. And, when I did say that there's a possibility that we have hit a significant bottom, all you have to do is look at the SMHs. TD 9 count bottom on the monthly, on the weekly. And then they had another TD 9 count bottom on the daily on December the 28th. Ho, 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 ho. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow up 107, S&P 24, NASDAQ 101, Russell up 13, and now the semis have joined the gang. They're up a buck out there, so you got all the U.S. indices trading the upside. We're taking a look at Goldilocks out here on a daily time frame. This is likely to form a bar number 9, a TD 9 count top. Now, that pattern will complete tomorrow. But right now, what we also have is a key reversal candle. As long as gold closes one tick in the bottom direction, one tick, one penny below where it opened today. By the way, the open inside of Goldilocks was up at 1880, 130. So 1881.20. If it closes at that or below that, you will have a key reversal bar. The key reversal bar would confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. Last time we had a TD9 count pattern, it was bar number 8 that identified that top. That was on November 15th. That pulled price back to support. That was the bottom of its daily profile. Support right now on a daily basis, the oscillator and change on is the first level around 1866. The next level would be 1806, the top of that daily profile. Now that's the daily time frame for Goldilocks. If you take a look at the weekly is going to complete a TD9 count topping pattern today, and its price target would be in that 1784. We'll call it 1775 level, because if price pulls back, that number is also going to move lower out there. So be careful with regard to Goldilocks. Now remember, you get this TD9 count top, and they can get negated as well. So on the shorter term timeframes out here for gold, we've seen some pullbacks. We can see on the short term timeframes, 10, 15-minute Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom patterns. Price should go at least up to 1879.70. That is the top of its 10-minute profile out there. Nothing that I've got on a 30-minute chart, and that is Goldilocks. The last question out here coming in from ELO. ELO wants to go take a look at Moderna, mRNA. So let's pull that chart up on our screen here. It's going to take me a moment just to populate this electric light, but let's do it. And your question is, if you have time, just to take a look at it. So with regard to Moderna, what's it doing? It is consolidating with inside its daily profile. And that's really between the range of 188.37, that's resistance, down to the 176.33 area out here. On a weekly basis, you've got a nice TD9 count top with price consolidating with inside its profile out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at Moderna Electric Light Orchestra. Folks, stay tuned. You've got great programming here. I'll be back with you on terrific Thursday. You have a wonderful Wednesday. Be safe out there, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.